Hey there, Alex here. It has been around half a year since I reviewed the Xperia XZ2 Compact, and it was one of my favorite phones at that time. Now that we've gotten a bunch of newer phones and we've gotten the Android Pie update, I thought it would be a great time to revisit the phone again and see how it's holding up. Let's just start with a quick recap of what we're getting with the XZ2 Compact. In terms of specifications, it's definitely what I would consider to be a flagship phone. Top tier processor, decent amount of storage and RAM, stereo speakers, IP68 water and dust resistance, good set of cameras, and of course, a nice 18:9 display. The user experience is excellent as well. I still love how this phone feels in my hand. The phone is a little chunky and the back is made of plastic, but it feels really solid. I know that if you look at the thickness and weight of the phone, it's not really that much smaller compared to the Galaxy S9 or Pixel 3. But the narrower width and shorter height does make it easier to use, especially one-handed. Even though the screen is a little smaller than most phones these days, the viewing experience is actually still pretty good. The display resolution is high enough that it still looks sharp even when I hold it nearer to my eyes. Outdoor visibility is good and it has nice colors, so I have no issues with using it for reading, communications, social media, and even entertainment. I actually really enjoy consuming media content on this phone because of the stereo speakers. It is surprisingly loud for such a tiny phone, and the audio actually sounds pretty good to me. Then you have the gaming experience as well, which is just excellent. It takes a while to get used to a slightly smaller screen, but that's about it. The screen is nice, the speaker sounds great, and the performance is just as good as any other flagship Android phones I've used so far. I'm running Android Pie on the phone already, and it's mostly a good experience with just a few minor annoyances. The user interface is fast, responsive, and it's relatively clean compared to a Samsung or LG phone. There are still a handful of bloatware, but they can be easily disabled. I like some of the smaller tweaks that Sony has added here, like being able to choose what happens when I double-click the power button, or the ability to tweak the display settings. But I don't really find features like Xperia Actions or 3D Creator to be that useful. The few minor complaints that I have are mostly just how it looks and how the Sony launcher works, but I can fix most of them by using a different launcher. I also find it a little strange that Sony didn't implement the new gesture navigation, but overall it's still a nice software experience, and Sony is actually pretty good with their software updates these days. I haven't seen a huge change in terms of battery life with Android Pie, so it's still pretty good for me. I can get like 5 to 6 hours of screen on time over a day of moderate use pretty easily. Part of that is probably thanks to Sony's software optimization, since the battery is really not that big. Oh yeah, we actually got a nice camera UI update as well, and it's definitely a much nicer experience. Talking about the camera, I just want to reiterate the point that it might not be the best camera I've used, but it's really not as bad as people think it is. It's a camera that I've really enjoyed using. I like the style of image processing most of the time, it has nice colors, and low light shots looks decent enough. The front camera has a slightly wider angle, which I like, and the quality is decent enough too. The video recording capabilities are still really great, with additional options for 4K HDR, as well as nice 60 frames per second slow motion recording. I have a link below to everything I took with the phone, so just go ahead and see for yourself. So yeah, half a year later, and with the update to Android Pie, the Xperia XZ2 Compact is still a really nice phone in my opinion. It might have a few minor compromises here and there, but in general, there isn't really anything that's bad about it. It's still a pretty well-rounded package. I'm not sure how long Sony will keep making these compact devices, since the trend is clearly moving towards slightly bigger phones. But for now, I'm just happy that there is still a good option out there for folks who prefer slightly smaller Android phones. Thanks for watching this revisit of the Sony Xperia XZ2 Compact. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Thanks again, and see you guys on the next one.